Hi everyone, not sure what happened there, but we're back again. Today I'm going to be talking about the top tips for transforming your relationship with food. This is one of the blog posts that I recently put out on February 2nd on healthquickie.com, and we're going to cover some important topics. I find this to be very important because it's not only about what you eat and trying to get more superfoods into your diet and trying to get healthy foods into your diet, but it's also about our two-way communication, if you will, between ourselves and our food. It's our communication in our own heads, what we tell ourselves about food, and this can greatly impact what we choose to eat, how we eat, and many, many different factors around eating. So we're going to look at things that you should do and things that you shouldn't do in order to improve your relationship with your food and your eating habits and your lifestyle. Okay? So first we're going to go through the do's. So get into the kitchen and start preparing your own meals. This is so satisfying. It's so enriching. You know exactly what you're putting into your body. The other day I took my kids to a restaurant and we're very, very often disappointed from restaurant eating. The food's not great. The quality's not great. The service takes time. There's a lot of different factors that we're not so satisfied with, but when I cook these amazing home-created dishes with mostly organic fruits and vegetables, I know that I'm nourishing us in the right direction, then it just feels so good. It just feels really lovely, and often we'll say at my dinner table that the meals are better than restaurant meals. So try to get into your kitchen, experiment with new foods, and make sure that you are connecting with this room in your house, and set it up the way you love, set up your kitchen in a way that makes you feel comfortable, in a way that's easy to move around, clean off the surfaces, make sure your kitchen is nice and clean before you start going. All these factors are going to motivate you to want to make your own food at home. And you know that this is where it all starts. For example, today I got 2 text messages from my son's daycare saying that someone had strep and someone had the flu yesterday. And the first thing that goes into my mind is go make soup. And I always have chicken bones in my freezer. Today I just had chicken legs in my freezer, and so I made this beautiful cabbage borscht with a bone broth as the base. With lots of garlic and onions and vegetables. So this is the first line of defense, guys, in your kitchen. If anyone starts to not feel well, starts to get sick, you go into the kitchen, you start preparing from your medicine cabinet, which is actually your kitchen. And then, of course, stock your kitchen up well, stock up the pantry, stock up the fridge. Make sure that you have the right ingredients so that if you are in a pinch, or if you don't have, if you feel like you don't have so many groceries at home, at least you have stuff in your pantry, dried goods, if it's grains, if it's even canned organic beans, if you need to, whatever you need in order to make those healthy dishes. The second one is about expanding your horizons. So, try out new recipes, try out new vegetables that you haven't tried out. Add vegetables into your smoothie. So incorporate maybe foods that you don't have so much experience with, incorporate them into your dishes. For example, today I have this green smoothie. I barely have any greens in my fridge right now, like green leafy vegetables. I have broccoli, I had some celery, I have some cucumber, and so that's what goes into the smoothie. I put some celery in here and some fruit and then some green superfood powder. So you would never really think of putting celery into a smoothie, right? Not very common. A cucumber into a smoothie, not very common. But just throw it all in and it tastes amazing. It's very delicious. This is my second glass. So always think of really creative ways that you can incorporate new vegetables and new foods into your diet. If you don't know what to do with it, literally if you're trying out celery root for the first time or beets for the first time, literally go on and Google, what can I make with celery root? And you'll see all kinds of beautiful recipes come up, and then just experiment in your kitchen. The next one is about adding foods to your diet that make you feel good. So I have my clients, my naturopathic clients, fill out a diet and lifestyle diary. That's one of the first things that they do. And we sit down and analyze this together. So it's over a period of 7 days, weekends included, so we can see their typical eating habits and eating styles during the week. Of course, we tend to eat differently on the weekends. And over the weekends, people will indulge. They'll go out to restaurants. They'll have some wine. They'll have some alcohol, whatever that is. But it's so important to eat foods that make you feel good about yourself. And through this exercise of journaling about your diet, you make connections between, there's always a how are you feeling column. So you make connections between what you're putting into your body and how that makes you feel. So for example, if you have, a really heavy bowl of pasta, with cream and meat and all kinds of things in there, maybe you won't feel so great after. Maybe you'll start having digestive symptoms. Maybe you'll get constipated. Maybe you'll get really gassy and bloated because of the dairy and the gluten. Whereas if you have a beautiful salad, you know, topped with some lean protein and lots of vegetables and antioxidant-rich fruit even into your salad, you'll start to make the connection between, you know, the outcome, how you're feeling, how your bowel movements are doing. Are you having urinations? You know, are you releasing liquid? So all of these things are very, very intricately connected. So what you're putting into your body is directly connected to how you're going to feel. Our foods do play a role in dictating our mood. So make sure that you choose your foods very wisely. And I have a blog post this week actually on food and mood and which foods you can incorporate to actually increase serotonin, increase omega-3 essential fatty acids to feed your brain so you have mental clarity and focus and memory and concentration. So look at that blog post. I have lots of different amazing, informative, concise, and very content-rich blog posts on my blog on healthquickie.com. So please visit my blog. So freeze something healthy is the next one. We're all in a time crunch. It's just a fact of our modern lives. So if you are in a time crunch, make sure to freeze something healthy. Make sure that you have pre-prepared, that you've meal prepped one day of the week, and that you have some healthy options in the freezer. And that'll be your go-to instead of stopping by, you know, a fast food joint after work or picking up something on the go. Make sure that you can just, you know, grab that food out of your freezer because that's food that you've actually created yourself, and then you're sure that you're nourishing yourself and your family in the right way. The next one is about eating with people that you love. If you can, eat with family. Everything is enhanced, you know, hopefully it's a positive environment, but if you eat with family and eat with loved ones, it just elevates your mood and you'll be able to digest better. Whereas if you're on your phone while you're eating, or driving while you're eating, or texting, or stressed, or having an argument, that is going to literally block your digestive process and tax your digestive organs, and you won't digest properly, and then you won't feel healthy and good after. So make sure that if you are eating in a family environment, it's a positive family environment. The next one is treat yourself to dessert occasionally. You know, I'm not a saint. I crave, you know, sometimes I crave ice cream and things like that. And that's okay once in a while to treat yourself. Don't make it a daily habit. One thing I'll often do is I'll make alternatives. So the other day, my kids wanted ice cream. Did I do a blog? I think I might have done a little post on that. So the kids wanted ice cream. It was after dinner. What did I do? I put some organic yogurt into the blender with some frozen berries, frozen mango, and vanilla extract. And they just were so satisfied. It was amazing. We all loved it. It tasted like amazing frozen yogurt. If you are dairy intolerant, you could do the same thing with a dairy-free yogurt. So for example, coconut yogurt is delicious. It tastes very, very similar to regular yogurt. Almond yogurt. These are really nice alternatives to dairy yogurt, and you can just make your own dessert or sweets. And if you are out with friends, if you're at someone's birthday party, it's okay to indulge once in a while. It's okay. It's not going to kill you, okay? So, you know, keep the baseline pretty healthy. I would say 90% of the time healthy, and then maybe have some cheat moments here and there, because that's what's going to make you happy. That's what's going to be less taxing and less stressful. If you're constantly stressed about food and eating right and counting your calories and counting your portions, that's not good. That's not a positive situation. So make sure that if you do indulge, enjoy that indulgence and have fun. Just don't make it irregular. So those were the don'ts. So those were the do's. Those were the do's. Here are the don'ts, okay? So don't be cruel to yourself. If you have indulged in a treat, don't be mean to yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't give yourself a hard time. Cut out that internal dialogue that's, you know, negative and self-deprecating, and instead just let it go. It's okay. Let it go. It was a positive thing, and as long as it didn't tax your digestion or give you any symptoms, as long as you're not intolerant to that food or allergic, then it's okay. Let it go. Don't stress out. So we just talked about that. If you're in a very stressful situation and you're eating, literally your body is in a fight and flight response. All the energy is taken away, it's eliminated from our metabolic process, from our digestive system, and it is really concentrated on fleeing the situation. So for example, all the blood rushes to your extremities and all the energy and attention moves away from digestion. That is not the priority for your body right now to start digesting food. If you are in an emergency situation, your body's priority is to flee the situation and to literally get away from that situation. So that's what happens when we're constantly undergoing stress. And unfortunately, in our modern culture, we don't only stress from really scary situations, but we stress many, many times a day. The body goes into a stress response for little things. We're driving and someone pissed us off on the road, and our whole body's going to go into a crazy stress response as if it was the worst thing that ever happened to us. At work, things come up all the time. People's, chemistry and emotions and all kinds of things get mixed up at the office, and that'll put you into a stress response as well. Home with family, children, we can be going into stress responses very, very many times throughout the day. But the key is to rest to digest. So make sure that if you are sitting down for a meal or for a snack, you are in a restful, more relaxed, calm state. And if that means delaying your meal a little bit, then so be it, because it's going to be less toxic for you than having a meal in a stressful situation. If that means sitting down to have a couple deep breaths before you actually dive into your meal, then so be it. That's what you need to do. Okay? So rest to digest and don't stress around eating. And don't be tempted by advertisements or family members that judge your food eating habits. If you're really eating healthy and you're on a path and you're determined to cure one of your health symptoms or get better, if you have digestive issues or high cholesterol or high blood pressure, and you've chosen for yourself to make goals for yourself and to change the way you're eating, change your diet. Maybe you can't go to so many restaurants during that time period. Maybe you can't attend family events and eat what everybody else is eating, but maybe you've brought your own dish. So if the people around you aren't supportive, and if you start to be judged by the people around you, but you are on that mission for your own body and your own self and your own mental health and well-being, then try not to let that penetrate into your boundaries, into your zone, and try to stick to what you've committed to yourself, okay? So this is very important. And again, don't judge yourself. It's a waste of time. I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, my butt doesn't look good, my thighs are too big, my arms. Don't take that time and waste it, okay? It's a waste of time. It's a judgmental time. You don't want to have that kind of relationship with your own self, but instead use that energy to think of, okay, let's take action here. What can I actually do for myself that's going to help me shed those pounds? And the ultimate goal should be getting healthy. So if you want to start incorporating more whole foods into your diet, if you want to start going to the gym once a week to start twice a week, then make those small increments towards getting healthy, but without all the judgment and the negative self-talk. So I hope these do's and don'ts helped you to have a better relationship with self and with food. If you are interested, I am running an amazing 3 days to healthy eating challenge. It starts on February 15th, goes from the 15th, 16th, 17th. These are 3 incredible days, all guided by video lessons kind of like this related to the specific topic of the day. What we're going to do is really go in and take inventory, take stock of what we're currently doing, what we need to get rid of, and what we can incorporate instead. So there are 3 steps to the program. Each day focuses on a different step. And we're going to be really taking stock, taking inventory of our kitchen, of what we eat, of how we eat, and what we could incorporate into our lives to make the whole system run better. These are tips that you can incorporate throughout the 3 days, but they are also tips that will last you for a lifetime. So if you want to implement these in the future, then you will definitely be doing great things for yourself. So join me. The link for the blog post that I talked about is going to be underneath this Facebook Live, and the link to join the 3 days to healthy eating challenge, it's completely free by the way, is also going to be underneath this Facebook Live. So I hope you join me. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be wonderful to do it in a group. We're going to have lots of dialogue about these specific days. You'll have some homework that you have to do after each day in order to really absorb the learning and make it stick. and we're going to have incredible group support. If you're not already a member of the Health Quickie community, it's my private Facebook group. It's a VIP group. It's a closed group. Lots of interesting discussions and conversations and really helpful people in there helping each other out with their health conditions. You know, sometimes there's someone else who's going through the exact same thing that you're going through, and they're going to be able to help you in ways that maybe I won't or maybe another person won't, because they've actually gone through that health situation. So join the group. It's an awesome group, and all of the activity for the 3-day challenge is going to be happening inside that group. So I hope you join, and so nice to see everyone, and we'll talk soon. Bye.